The whole point of all of this is to build the community up, not tear each other down. That is the point of this. And it's sad because you guys ran on my ticket, both of y'all, Trustee Belcher and Trustee House. Both y'all did. And when you ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. My vision is to fix our community.
The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money.
Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and it's that time where we do an update on the corrupt Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard, because despite the fact that she's under FBI investigation, despite the fact that her right-hand man and possible boyfriend is under indictment, the Super Mayor has decided that she will not be restrained, and she started retaliating, or continued retaliating, against her political foes, and this time it's the Park District. Now, we're going to get into this. We're going to give you the whole history, the whole backstory of this. But before we do, thank you to everyone who signed up over at naturaljusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
What are you holding there? I have 4 tickets issued from the Village of Dalton, and each ticket is $500 a piece. That is $2,000 worth of tickets that I have here.
Whoa. Listen up. We gotta slow down on this particular story, take it back a few notches, because the Super Mayor actually has a long and checkered history with the Park District, and a lot of you guys might not be all that familiar with Illinois state government. I know I wasn't familiar with Illinois state government until I had to learn about the Board of Trustees that Tiffany Henyard is the board supervisor for, and the Village of Dalton, which are 2 separate bodies of government. But guess what? The Park District is also a separate body of government. So these tickets right here for them doing work without a permit that total up to $2,000 are not actually under the jurisdiction of the Super Mayor, and this is retaliation for a long-standing feud that she's actually had with this district. And unsurprisingly, you will not be shocked to learn that this feud is a one-way feud, or it started as a one-way feud coming from the Super Mayor. So way back when, in August of 2023, the Park District was set to host something that they had going on for 6 years running, and this was called the Dalton Auto Show. And the Super Mayor was actually running a counter event, an event, of course, that was all about herself, at the very same time, and the Super Mayor decided that the Park District should not hold this event, and therefore she was not going to give them the authority to have this event operate simultaneously. However, there was one problem. The Park District is actually a completely separate form of government than the Village of Dalton. It is not under the Village of Dalton, and the Super Mayor had no legal authority at all whatsoever to halt this event, and obviously you halting an event that goes every year in the Village of Dalton that is not under the purview of your government because you're running a stupid ass competing outdoor event on another part of town a couple of blocks away is not a legitimate purpose. So in this particular case, the Super Mayor, after having that presented to her, decided that she was going to back off. She apologized. Obviously, I'm kidding, guys. What she did was deploy the police to go to this event and put up concrete barriers and threaten to tow any vehicle that showed up to this auto show, which clearly and obviously is a major problem.
Yeah, we're getting some guesses about that, Anthony. So on Saturday, this parking lot at Needles Park here in Dalton was supposed to be full of cars and people for a popular annual car show, but take a look at what happened. The city shut it down, placing huge concrete barricades in front of the entrance, still a couple back there, and what the Park District is calling an act of revenge by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Now, not only did the Super Mayor put up these concrete barriers so cars couldn't come in, but she actually had construction equipment move what are described as boulders to block this entranceway to this park that, again, she has no authority over. And after the fact, residents and members of the Park District government were telling her that she needs to move this stuff out of the way because she just left it that way. Because the Super Mayor is a thug and criminal, and she decided not only were they going to suffer the consequences for trying to run the event that they've been running for 6 years in the Park District, but she was also going to punish them in perpetuity by blocking residents of Dalton out of their own park by leaving the barriers up. So this is a thing that happened. It's one of the earliest controversies for the supermayor, and needless to say, the Park District and her have been feuding ever since. In fact, there is actually a lawsuit right now in court over this instance. So, based on that alone, you understand why the supermayor is targeting this particular district. You understand why she's deploying against them, demanding that they present permits to her government authority, which, by the way, again, has no authority over the Park District.
We had our permit, we had our insurance, everything that Dalton Park District asked for.
That's Darren Bosley. He's been running the annual car show in Needles Park for 8 years now, but when he showed up Saturday morning, he found that the Dalton Police Department had placed huge concrete blocks to barricade the entrances to the parking lot where that show was going to be held. Bosley said he started getting phone calls in the middle of the week from the chief assistant to Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, telling him that they wanted Bosley to move the car show location closer to an outdoor music event that Henyard was holding at the same time. He says he refused because he already had his permit from the Park District, which has the authority over park property, not the mayor or the village.
It is a separate form of government and is fining people as a form of retribution.
Dalton Park District President Cleo Jones says they were stunned last week when they received citations for doing work without a permit. He says 2 of the tickets were issued for spreading fresh mulch on district playgrounds.
So every year we replenish the mulch in the park to ensure that the safety of the kids are playing on a safe surface by playing on some healthy mulch. And we do this every year.
Have they ever asked for a permit before?
Never.
Yeah, so what makes me laugh about this particular story is that the second verse is the same as the first. The supermayor was trying to shut down the auto show. She cited permits, safety, and all this. In reality, they were just competing with an event that she was running, and she didn't like that. And instead of actually trying to address this or acknowledging she had no legal authority, she just decided to shut it down, despite the fact that this was a standard practice done each and every year. And by the way, it is done for the safety of the children playing in this park, and you will understand that because the other thing that they were cited for was replacing old, outdated, dilapidated equipment in the Park District.
Never in a million years.
The other 2 tickets appear to be for replacing old playground equipment with brand new equipment.
My response was, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What does the village have to do with the Park District?
Jones believes the Park District, a separate unit of government, is being targeted by controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who's currently at the center of an FBI corruption investigation.
Now, I know Tiffany Henyard is really upset about this. I know she's really mad because she's incinerated so much of the money of Dalton. They're on the verge of getting their police vehicles repossessed, on the verge of getting their stoplights repossessed, their traffic lights, and yes, those are 2 different things, and yes, that's 100% real.
It's real.
So when a governing body actually has the money to do the services that they're supposed to do, that angers her. But there is something going on that's even a bit deeper than the previous feud surrounding the auto show, surrounding the lawsuit that resulted from that auto show. And that is, of course, that the Park District has decided to, allow the board of trustees to have that second meeting that Tiffany Henyard won't show up to, that she actually locked them out of the official government office so that they wouldn't have it each and every month.
Park District believes it's retaliation for allowing the 4 Dalton trustees opposed to Henyard to hold meetings at a Park District field house after they were barred from Village Hall.
So as you can see right there, the reason that they're speculating that they decided that they were going to retaliate against the Park District this time is because this time the Park District has decided that they're going to allow the Board of Trustees members to hold that second meeting, which, by the way, they're actually supposed to hold in the Village of Dalton each and every month, in the Park District office, and this is due to the fact that Tiffany Henyard illegally locked them out of the Village Hall. She banned them from being able to hold the second meeting there, which is what they're supposed to do, but Tiffany Henyard is too lazy to show up to that second meeting, so they had to find an alternative venue. So let us get a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on right here. Park District ran an auto show years ago. Tiffany Henyard wanted to shut it down because she had a Tiffany Henyard event that she wanted to promote, and it competed with what the auto show was going to do. The Park District said no, so Tiffany Henyard had the police threaten them, had concrete barriers moved in, boulders moved in, and she retaliated against them for not bending to her will. Fast forward, they end up getting a lawsuit. They face further retaliation. So somewhere in this time frame, the Board of Trustees, needing a new venue, decided that they were going to ask the Park District for that venue, and this was provided to them. So Tiffany Henyard has been angry about this. She's been steaming about this in a lot of different meetings, but it all kind of came to a head recently when Lori Lightfoot was appointed at that Park District meeting. And of course, we have to do a whole video on their exchange later on this channel at the Village of Dalton meeting. Tiffany Henyard is not a fan of anybody investigating her, and a lot of people are investigating her, but I find it amazing that she's still doing the retaliation thing, despite the fact the FBI is meeting with people that have accused Tiffany A. Henyard of retaliation for political purposes. And she's striking against, again, another governing body that she has no authority over. She is trying to force them into compliance using the police power to do so, despite the fact that they are not legally obligated in any way, shape, or form to obey the edicts of the supermayor.
But it's not just mulch and swing sets. They say Henyard is holding up $600,000 in grants for the Park District, one from Blue Cross Blue Shield, the other from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, by refusing to issue permits for the work.
We have gone to the village for permitting, and they have been unresponsive. I have a project manager that is working on that, and they just refuse to give us the permit.
So on top of everything else, there are actually grants, and we're talking big dollar amounts. One of them is worth $600,000 from Blue Cross Blue Shield, which, by the way, is an insurance company, that are pending for the park. In fact, all they have to do in order to receive this grant is show that they're authorized to do the work that they're going to do, which requires a permit. And like we've seen with various businesses in the Village of Dalton, they are not being issued those permits. The Park District, in the limited circumstances where they actually have to go to the Village of Dalton, is totally screwed over by Tiffany A. Henyard, all because she has an axe to grind against them, and it's absolutely a travesty.
Dalton Park District Director Stephanie Wiedemann says if they don't get the permits in the next few weeks, the $400,000 grant to overhaul Blackstone Park with a new walking path and gazebo will expire.
So not only are they on the cusp of losing that $600,000 grant that we talked about, but that $450,000 grant is actually going to expire in a couple of weeks, which will create a $150,000 hole for the taxpayer, and they won't even get the work done. Again, these are just grants. All you have to do is authorize the Park District to do what the Park District does, but Tiffany A. Henyard is so petty, so nasty, such a villain, that she's not going to allow this to happen. She's going to block it because the Park District dared defy her by operating as they should, and that's not good enough for the supermayor. Look, every time I revisit the supermayor, it gets more absurd, more crazy, and also she shows herself to be more cruel. And while we could all laugh at the fact that she played the race card in that meeting in a clip that I am super fond of playing.
Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. All the stuff that y'all did to get people to come to our community, to just diss and down our community. Shame on y'all.
The fact of the matter is, it's not a joke for the residents of the Village of Dalton. And while I benefit, and let's be real, everybody on the internet.com benefits from Tiffany A. Henyard being at her post in the Village of Dalton because she's so memeable, she's so great to generate content off of and revenue off of. The fact of the matter is, residents in the Village of Dalton are suffering. And for those of you who are going to say, you voted for this, therefore you deserve it, need I remind you that they actually had a recall election. She was overwhelmingly voted out in said recall election. However, a judge struck down and invalidated that vote, so these residents who already voted her out are stuck with her by the orders of a judge. That is the reason why Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of the Village of Dalton.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all. We, us, me and my administration. So don't y'all ever talk to them like that. Don't y'all ever tell them that they was told what to say. Because they don't. They got mad at themselves. And they all educated up here. All of them got degrees.
So keep that in mind when you're leaving your comments. Now, I will leave this story up to you guys out there in the comments, so let me know what you think about this. Was the super mayor right to initiate these fines against the Parks Department for daring to, do the stuff that the Parks District does? Or is this obviously yet another case, yet another instance, yet another nail in her coffin of her retaliating for people not complying with her political purposes? Again, all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the super mayor targeting the Parks Department. Till next time.